Just kidding. Just kidding. Oh, man. How's it going, everybody? Welcome in. And it's 4 hours till midnight here in the Mile High, from coast to coast, from sea to shining sea. It's 4 hours till midnight. I'm Rollshambo, and I'm excited to get into tonight's live stream. Man, it's been a busy week for me, but not on the channel. You know, it's been one of those weeks for me where I get busy with the other part of life. You know, the part where you spend more time with family, you spend a little extra time at work even though you don't want to. Life goes on. And some of you might have been wondering what happened. We were getting, 3-4 videos a week plus 2 live streams. Guys, I've just been busy, but not too busy to miss the live stream. If I can help it, I'm not going to. I was really looking forward to tonight because it gives me an opportunity to catch up with each and every one of you. And of course, I'm assuming that if you're here, that you have survived Hurricane Helene. And so for that matter, hats off to you. Metaphorically, of course, because let's be honest, even with the haircut, nobody wants to see this hairline. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. But anyways, let's go ahead and start saying hi to the good people in the chat. Shout out to my man Marco, first person in the chat, and a channel member to boot. What's up, Marco? Thanks for joining in. We got Mike Upchurch, Craig Vincent, Ohio Lefty Knife Guy. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being a channel member. Jim Miller in the house. Jim, good to see you surviving out there as well. Experience Precision, welcome in. He says, I'm here to get Tri-State voice out of my head. Well, hopefully we can act as a palate cleanser for you. Did Cole recently go live with his regular voice? I don't know. I know that he does his voice changer thing. It's part of his channel persona. I get it. Let's see. Ed B, welcome in, and says, wonders if Roll will read my featured question. Well, now it's guaranteed. I can't not read it now. As long as it's not making me say something crazy like I love raisins, because I won't read that. I have standards. Welcome into Rebel Rouser. Thanks for being a channel member. John Blackman as well. Good to see you. Mark Parks in the house. What's up, Mark? John Tagamori, what's good? And I'm scrolling, and the chat is going to jump. We're just going to live with it. Kevin Smith and Knives, welcome in. Todd Carr, man, good to see you. All right. Lone Star Towboy, what's up? He says carry of the day is the Cold Steel Tie Light 6 and the sencut Saxy. Very nice. Very nice. You know what kills me? So I made my video on the sencut Saxy almost 2 years ago. Yeah, maybe it might have actually been 2 years. And I made a joke in that video where I was just like, is it, is it the sachet? Is it the it's the Saxy. And the funny thing is that it was confirmed. And I actually think it was Lone Star who's been watching the channel long enough. I think if you were to go back and look at that video, you actually see his comment where he's like, it's called the Saxy because it's named after locations in Texas. The Watauga, I'm probably butchering that name, the Saxy, the Crowley. I think it's all counties in Texas. And he put that there, and I could have swore that I pinned his comment. It got all the likes in the world, so filtered by top comments, it's the top comment. They did that in honor of Blade Show Texas. And that made so much sense because I was like, what's this name for? And yet, to this day, I still get comments from people where they're like, it's actually it's blah, 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 and pronounce something completely different. I'm like, and they're just wrong. But I'll have you know, Lone Star, that every time I see a comment pop up on my YouTube on that video, because I still get them to this day, more than 2 years later, where they're like, no, it means this, something else entirely. I'm like, hats off to you. Cheers to you, Lone Star, for having such a wide amount of knowledge in this hobby. So thank you. Thank you. Rebel Rouser says, I have no hairline. I have one. It's not great. Yay for mill pattern baldness. Jim Miller says, nothing affects me after Casey. Man, are we taking shots at Knives Fast hairline? No, man. I mean, honestly, at one point I'm just gonna get to the point where I'm just done and I'm just gonna shave it all, go cue ball, might as well. Rebel Rouser says, today's carry the Devo Nip Slip, the Olight Baton Turbo, and the Kaiser Muskrat. Very cool, man. Very cool. I've been carrying, what I've been carrying a lot lately has been this guy. This is my Devo Nip Light. And it's really good. It's really good for the box opening, the basic everyday carry stuff, fits in the fifth pocket. I'm not a huge fan of this clip, but I can live with it. I can live with it because it lives in my fifth pocket. It's whatever. I did go ahead and put my own edge on there. And I got to say, super slicey after putting my own edge on there. Love the nip. It's great. And rumor has it, from a very reliable source, that there will be a large nip. Because what's better than a nip? A bigger nip. Nip as in take a drink of something. You know what I'm talking about. Kevin Smith and Knives says, I didn't know that. Learn something every day. Cool. Oh, about the Saxy? Or did I miss another conversation in the chat? Because that is highly possible. Todd Carr says, today, Leatherman Surge Plus accessories, the Gerber Dime and Shard, the SAK Fieldmaster, the Cold Steel AD10, the Kaiser Escort, Olight i3T, and Arkfeld UV, and of course, it wouldn't be complete without a Forest Hank. Right on, Todd. That is one hell of a carry. Okay, I'll play along. You know what I carried today? I carried two knives. First of all, the TRM Bulldog. And you know what? This knife is heavily understated. Nothing super fancy about it. It's got a titanium clip. Otherwise, it's MagnaCut G10 and their Riverlock. But this is a workhorse, man. Such a great work knife on this one. And they're coming out with more handle scale materials. They've done a couple releases of this already. I can't wait to find out if they do a titanium lizard skin textured version, because that would be absolutely dominant. It's already good. It's already good. The knife that you do not feel bad about taking out of your pocket to do work, whatever, it's good. They created a really good knife that you can feel good using. Great cutting geometry, good steel, good handle scale material, good ergonomics. The pocket clip isn't like the most amazing thing ever, but it fits over any material you got. You're wearing Carhartts, you're good. You're wearing shorts, it's not super heavy. It's just a good knife. I'm really waiting for them to take it to the enthusiast level and upgrade it with some titanium contoured scales, but I can be patient for now. NFK20, what's up? Thanks for being a channel member. He says, much love, everyone. Remember to keep your heads high and your knives sharp. Take care. Absolutely. Good words. Ian Coates. The channel mod in the house says, I'm late. The bakery was taking too long cooking the chocolate chip cookies I brought. At least I think they're chocolate chip. These better not be Inception cookies where they look like chocolate chip, but in reality, they're just oatmeal raisin. I will not accept that. By the way, Spartan, kick the like button for me one time. Let YouTube know that we're live, baby. It's Wednesday. Let the good people know that there is, in fact, a Knife and EDC channel live right now, because I don't know if you guys noticed, I almost feel like Knives has completely quit his public live streams. Maybe he does maybe Jared's still doing his members only live streams. I don't know what happened. I need to ask him. Like, Jared, what happened? What happened to the live streams, man? Because I used to use those to warm up for this show. It gave me an avenue to reach out and say hi to people before I went live. And now it's been at least 3 or 4 weeks. Does anyone know what's going on? I'm curious. That was one of those live streams that I would find time to watch at least a little bit of before going live myself. Hey, shout out to John Tagamori for becoming a new channel member. Thanks, man. And welcome in to being a connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny. Thank you, John, and welcome in. Brian White, good to see you. Let's see. Ian Coates says, Roll holding it down on the late night Wednesday and Saturday slots. I do what I can. I've been kind of depressed lately because before every knife show, I always get the same set of messages from a lot of people asking me, are you going to make it to the knife show? Insert SHOT Show, Blade Show West, Blade Show Texas, the main Blade Show in Atlanta. And I haven't been able to make it yet, guys. I've had to look at my priorities, and I've got some expenses coming up this next year, which are very important to my family, to me. And so I made a decision, and that decision is funneling the funds that I would have used to go to those knife shows instead to take care of business on the family end. And I know that many of you guys are family people as well, so you understand. It doesn't make it sting less when I get those messages and people are like, are you going to knife show or Blade Show? Are you going to SHOT Show? And I'm, no. Sadly, no. And because I always start making those plans and then something happens. I remember, I think it was a year and a half ago, I started making those plans and then my computer caught fire. The one I use to record and edit my content, the one that I need to do things like live streams. Yeah, and that sucked. I ended up having to do a knife sale, Anyways, so in case you guys are wondering, no, I will not be at Blade Show West. For those of you who will be, I'm super happy for you. I will not be there, but I hope you have an amazing, amazing time. Ed B says, Roll would be immensely pleased if you'd passionately stroke that like button. He may even reciprocate. You can't threaten me with a good time, Ed. Let's go. Lone Star says, no lives make it difficult to stay a member. It's true. It's true. Like the live streams, in my opinion, I started doing them because it was a great way to switch up the type of content that I was making to stay connected with the people who are the true diehard fans of the channel. And I got to say, it's nice. It's refreshing. It's a palate cleanser for me as a creator, as someone that runs a channel, to do something that isn't planned out, that has very little forethought. Because I go into these lives with the mentality of I get to hang out with the people that really ride for the channel. And that's nice. It's nice to be in a room, even a virtual one, with like-minded individuals that truly enjoy the hobby. They enjoy the community aspect of things. And that's special. It's more special than getting, someone to watch 3 minutes of one of my videos and leave a comment. So these live streams are important for me as well because they keep me grounded. Rebel Rouser says Jared doesn't do like he used to. I'm wondering the same. Honestly, Jared's been one of those people that has allowed me to reach out to him in the past. And, he's a good guy. I should probably reach out and see what's going on. Ian says Jared was the best technical live on KnifeTube. Yeah, his knife sharpening lives were really good. I definitely like those. Hey, congrats to John Blackman for being a channel member for 11 months. Thanks for riding with the channel for 11 months, John. You're almost at that year mark. He says, hey, Shambo, carrying the Spyderco Shaman. What a great carry. the Shaman. I don't think you can go wrong with the Shaman at all. I love mine. It doesn't get as much carry time as it should, but I'm not making the same mistake I made last time, because that's actually the second Shaman that I've owned. I'm not going to sell this one. I made that mistake the first time. I sold a Blade Ops exclusive that I haven't seen available for like a year and a half. It was an LMAX, and I've been kicking myself ever since. Todd Carr says, last time I talked to him, it was supposed to start back up again like usual, but he was having PC issues and was busy as well. I bet you he's stacked. You know, he's got, what, at least 2 episodes he releases daily. It's his full-time job. I can't imagine. I know what it's like going through the tech problems, too. I've been there. Jim Miller says, I would love to be at Smoky Mountain Knife Works this weekend if they are still having the event. I don't know. My heart goes out to everybody affected by the hurricane. You know, there's a lot of people, especially in our community, that were hit hard by it. You know, I've heard of knife makers who were hospitalized, like single person blacksmith shops, demolished. You know, the heart, the beating heart of our community is going to be those small time American knife makers, the small time blacksmiths. And I know that part of our community was hit hard, especially those in North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia. I know some places are getting back into action, you know, with water coming back on, electricity coming back on. I'm here in Colorado, which means that we're not getting any flooding here. It's dry. It is not a wet climate here. You might think, oh, you know, you're the Rocky Mountains, you probably get lots of snow. You know, specifically here, not as much as you'd think. So we're fine. We're going to hold it down. And I appreciate each and every one of you that found a way to make it into the live stream. Lone Star says, he makes a point, but if he lets his hair grow, no one will notice. Is it because I wear a hat? I don't know. Where am I in here? Hey, welcome into Knives and Pizza. Great combination, too, by the way. He says, what's your favorite knife locking mechanism? It's easy. It's going to be the compression lock or some form or factor of the compression lock. And what I mean by that is Spyderco, of course, made and created and patented the compression lock. Their utility patent has since run out. And so now you've got companies, not the least of which Vosteed, coming out with the button-operated compression lock because Spyderco so shamefully ignored the masses when they said, hey, the Spyderco smock is amazing. We would love another, you know, several knives with the button-operated compression lock. And Spyderco said, tough shit. Or no. Vosteed has been very successful. This is my Vosteed Hedgehog, one of my favorite Vosteeds released this year. And they can't call it a compression lock. Just like companies that copy the Axis lock aren't going to call it the Axis lock. They'll call it something else. The shift lock, the blah, 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 blah lock. You know, it's a crossbar style lock. So my favorite locking mechanism is any variation of the compression lock. And the main reason is, for one, it's a strong lock for regular purposes. I've seen people baton with their compression locks. Another is that it's extremely versatile. You can add a button, you cannot add a button. It works well either way. It keeps your fingers out of the cutting path. It offers a traditional detent at the same time. Good lock up and lock out. It has longevity as a knife lock. Is it the strongest lock out there? No. A shark lock will do you just fine. A shark lock is going to be more stronger. You know, Atlas lock more stronger. Anything made by Andrew Demko more stronger. But as far as ease of use, utility, cost, availability, and patent being open, that's a big one. Mark my words. So I did a hot take at the beginning of the year, and I said, watch Vosteed. Vosteed will be the hot company, the hot knife company coming out, guns blazing 2024. I said it live. I said it live on Lefty EDC's live, on Kev's live stream. And he was like, yeah, sure, okay, maybe. More than one person has told me since. I was right. Vosteed has absolutely crushed it. So here's another hot take for you. Vosteed, in 2025, Vosteed won't be the only company taking advantage of the open utility patent on the compression lock. I would be very shocked if we didn't see at least 3 or 4 more companies, well-known companies, coming out with knives that use this lock. Bet on it. And I think that ultimately that is a good thing. That's a long answer to a short question, but that's just my style. Hey, shout out to Neil McKenzie, channel member for 9 months. Thank you, Neil. And he uses his 9-month anniversary to say hello. Hello to you. Welcome in, man. Thanks for rocking with the channel for 9 months. All right. All right, the chat has jumped since my monologue, so bear with me. Hey, Top Dog, welcome in, man. Says better late than never.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Good to see you, Top Dog. Welcome in. He says better late than never. Hi, everyone. It's good to see you, man. All right. Ian Coates says, I feel not going live and focusing on your daily videos is a hindrance on your success. Lives are such a great way to hang out with those that support you. 100%. And I believe that I said the same thing, man. I think that I think many content creators feel uncomfortable with the live aspect. That's why we still see so many of this, top down, desktop view only, can't show my face. You know what? If I've had a stressful week and I got like a little stress acne going on, or whatever, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I think that putting yourself in a position to not be on script, not be able to prepare, to just talk from the hip, it gives people an opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. And I think that that's very important. Not that the majority of the people that watch my channel watch the live streams. People have busy lives, in general. I ran a poll on my regular channel about a year ago, and I was like, are you interested in my live streams? The majority said no. And that's totally fine. But there was actually a good amount of people that said yes, and we've been rocking ever since. Jim says that Smoky Mountain Knife Works didn't get hit hard. That's good. Glad to hear it. Mad Yako, what's up, man? Welcome in. Todd Carr says, today was still 1.5 million people without power, over 200 missing with over 130 confirmed deaths. Horrible what people are going through. Pray for all those affected. Absolutely. 100%. I feel very lucky that here in Colorado, we don't have to worry about hurricanes. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I love rainstorms, but I've never been in a rainstorm that flooded the city and took away homes and stuff like that. I can't imagine what that would be like, but it's a reminder that, you have to be thankful for what you have, because at any point in time, an act of nature could take it all away. And that's one of the most realizations you can come to. And maybe it's not a hurricane. Maybe it's an earthquake. Maybe it's a solar flare. We have no idea. Hopefully it's not a solar flare, because that would probably, affect the whole world. Ian Coates says, I hate I have a little sub name now. Gotta find out how to get rid of that. A sub name? You mean where it says, hey, it's Coates? I wish I could help you, man. I have no idea why it shows like that. No idea. Ian says, I like the integral lock, obviously. You mean the frame lock? Wasn't that originally called the Chris Reeve integral lock? Now people just call it a frame lock. Craig Vincent says, how strong is the compression lock compared to Axis, Atlas, Super, Shark, or Triad lock? So I don't have a whole lot of test data on this, primarily because I don't run any of these tests myself. However, they did a Blade HQ, which I don't quote much, but I will give them props on this. Years and years and years ago, Blade HQ actually tested a bunch of knife locks. They tested liner locks. They tested the Mannix 2-ball bearing lock, which is beastly. They tested the compression lock, frame locks. I don't know if they did an axis lock or not. Anyways, how a compression lock stood up, it was stronger than a liner lock. No surprises there. And that's what kills me when people are like, oh, compression lock is just another liner lock. It's just backwards. Wrong. A compression lock compresses the liner between the stop pin and the tang of the blade, whereas a regular liner lock does not do that. That's why it's stronger. Even though it looks like it's similar, but it's much sturdier. So it will hold more weight. It's more weight bearing than a liner lock. And I want to say that it's more weight bearing than a traditional frame lock too, but it wasn't as weight bearing or load bearing as a back lock. I'd have to watch the video again. It's an old Blade HQ video. Just look up on YouTube when you get a spare chance, Craig. Just look up Spyderco compression lock load bearing test. It'll be a Blade HQ video. They did several back then, and they were pretty popular with that too. But it's crazy how strong a compression lock is for what it is, because it is multiplicatively stronger than a traditional liner lock, just based on how that liner interacts with things like the stop pin and the tang of the blade. Hey, thanks for the thanks for the $2 super, Ian. He says 2025 will be the year of the integral lock. We'll see. That's a hot take, man. We will see. Rebel Rouser says, I like the lock on the Aurora truffles. Yeah, you know, they kind of sold that design out though. You know, if I'm going with a pivot style lock, the Vancor lock or the V anchor lock on this Vosteed is so good. On the Ankelo, yes. I've tried several pivot style locks this year, and this one is definitely the most promising as far as durability is concerned. These have been tested, magnet driven. It's the Ankelo is a highly, highly underrated knife. I just want an uber premium version of it. Like, I want one with a backspacer. I want one with S90V blade steel and titanium frag pattern handle scales, because the highest one you can get still has a even though it has an LMAX blade, it still only has aluminum handle scales, and aluminum handle scales are great, but I would love to see one with titanium handle scales, something crazy, you know, give me a zirconium button right here or something. I nerd out over stuff like that. But if we're going with a pivot lock, my money's going on the Vancor lock or the V anchor lock, however you want to call it, for a pivot lock specifically. Another one that's not bad as a pivot lock is the Remet Peregrine Falcon. This one is more fidgety, but it's essentially a liner lock activated by that pivot. Still very fidgety. Really good cutting geometry on the Peregrine Falcon. Something that's cool, guys, and hopefully I get a chance to check one out, is that they redesigned the Peregrine Falcon to include an additional safety that you can switch on or off to ensure stability while doing stupid stuff with your knife. You know, like deciding that this is what you're going to chop firewood with today. I've been thinking a great deal about why people care whether or not they can baton with their folding knife. And you know what I think it comes down to? I think it comes down to the fact that one of the main reasons why people love the idea of EDC is because it puts you in a opportunity to be prepared for things that you might not otherwise be prepared for the unexpected. Half the time when I'm using my knives, I'm doing something that I did not wake up and understand that I was going to be using my knife for that day. Random everyday tasks handled by the tools already in your pocket because you decided to take action, to be a useful person in your own life by having tools that you might not understand that you need, but you end up having regardless because you carry them with you. The dedication to being prepared because it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And that is why effectively people care about what their tools are capable of. Because I think about things like, why do people care if you can baton with your knife? I mean, the likelihood that you will need to is extremely low. But the opportunity to do that, should that arise, should the occasion come to be, is one of those things that I think is fascinating, not only to me, but to a lot of people. The psychology behind EDC. Craig Vincent says, perhaps a knife company will release its version of the compression lock with a budget folder for us poor folk and name it the Compassion Lock. Oh, Craig, I got something for you, man. And I don't know if you're well versed in this, but hold the phone because I got something that fits that bill for you pretty good, actually. And we're going to go to the screen share in 3, 2, 1, gravy, baby. Okay, so check it out. Vosteed. Vosteed makes a $50 top liner lock, which is a compression lock. And it's the Vosteed Raccoon. If I can get my stuff to work, hold on. They make a top liner lock version of the Raccoon, which is their compression lock. It's not just a button actuated liner lock. It is, in fact, a compression lock. Not this one. That's the crossbar style version, which is still good. Where is the Vosteed top liner lock Raccoon? All right. We're going to find it. Lock type, top liner lock. Raccoon. Here it is. Okay. It's currently out of stock. However, these are for like $65 and you get well done 14C, which is great. I know you appreciate good 14C. $65, 14C. It's the top liner lock. Micarta. People love this. And it's not just a regular button lock. It's not a regular plunge lock. It is their compression lock. And the reason why it's sold out is because they've been massively popular. They will restock. They've been restocking these like crazy all year long. So you will, of course, have another opportunity to get one. The only question left to answer is what color do you want? Because I promise you, if you get one of these, you will like it. Green micarta, blue micarta, black micarta. Yeah. I haven't picked one up yet, but I will at some point, probably before the end of the year. Vosteed said that they would love to send me one, but they just keep selling out. $65, I think, is a pretty good deal if that's what you're looking for. It's not called the Compassion Lock, but it is, in fact, that mechanism. So there you go, Craig. Hope that helps, man. Keep an eye out for those. And when they become available again, you pick one up, that'll be exactly what you mentioned. Welcome into Drinkwater. Good to see you. Speaking of which, that's my cue. All right. Integral lock is a frame lock. I thought so. It's Chris Reeve's name for it, or Chris Reeve. It's the Chris Reeve integral lock, but everyone else ended up calling it the frame lock. Hey, welcome into Wicked Dream Design. Good to see you, man. Lone Star says the famous Bala song grip lock. Is your hand the lock? Is that what's going on here? What's up, Big Jimpin? He says, I'm pretty sure it's a simulation. Blink twice. Blink twice if you're in danger. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Casey Baker, thank you for being a channel member. He says, but that's also why I keep a bow saw and machete in my car, so I won't need to count on a pocket knife to do that. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, what if you're not next to your car? What if you stop on the side of the road because you see a wounded animal, you follow it into the woods, you turn around, the sun has gone down, you're lost, you're in an unfamiliar area. Maybe you have to depend on feather sticking. I don't know. That's a wild, random scenario that, again, is highly unlikely. But that's the point. If you have it on you, you're always prepared. I still believe that people love knowing what their knives are capable of because of a fear of the unknown or a willingness to be prepared no matter what. And I think that that's admirable. What's up, Knife Plebe? Says Raccoon Top Liner Lock is the best budget knife I have ever owned, no competition. You're not the only person I've talked to that said that either. Ian says Roll's probably an AI construct. I'm yet to see him with my 2 face balls. If I'm an AI construct, somebody needs to get their money back. He says Roll probably isn't real, and this is just the amalgamation of data from numerous server racks. Rack City. Oh man. Craig says, nice. I had a raccoon, but gave it away because I had so many crossbar lock knives. Now I have a reason to get another one. Plus, it will always be the compassion lock to me. I've heard nothing but great things about the Top Liner Lock raccoon. Honestly, it's kind of sad that I haven't gotten one yet. I need to amend that. Ian says, when the sun has gone down, the moon has come up, and long ago someone left with the cup. Leafy Wiggy says, that's why we have Joe X for knife reliability. You know what he does with knives is insanity, but it's highly entertaining. I do enjoy watching his we'll call them tests. It is abuse at the finest level. It's knife abuse is what it is. The torture tests. If it's a test, it's definitely a torture test. Casey says, I'm not a big outdoors person. I'm rarely far from my car or my home. That's fair. That is fair. Wicked Dream Design says, Mr. Shambo, I messaged you on Instagram. Hold on. Let me get out my my messaging device, my phone. Let's see. Right on, man. I will hit you up after the live stream, brother. Thank you. Ian says, I hope Roll got that reference. Ian, it went right over my head, bro. Evil E, welcome in, dude. Good to see you. Lone Star says, collecting can breed stigmas. The 4 steels, handle materials, locks, and differing shapes. Yeah, absolutely. Stigmas, people start gatekeeping information, which blows me away. Like, we get new people in this hobby all the time, but we also scare off a fair amount of new people in this hobby all the time because it's more in-depth than folks realize. That's why if you were to go on TikTok right now, you would see a whole bunch of videos from people like showing off literally gas station products, and they have loads of followers. People going, yeah, I absolutely need the Reaper scythe, the double bladed bat wing knife. You should never gatekeep information. You should never discourage someone who's new and doesn't know any better. And I think that for the most part, the community does a good job, but there's always the few that ruin it for the many. Always. Don't be one of those. Craig says, I always carry large cold steel folders. I can baton the earth in half at a moment's notice if I need to. Fair enough. Knife Pleep says, I guess we can add the new budget Militas to the best budget conversation. That's another one I haven't tried yet. I haven't tried the Militas. Jim says the top liner lock Raccoon is the only budget knife I've bought in a long time. Nice. All right. So I mentioned I carried 2 knives today. First one, already mentioned, the TRM Bulldog. Great knife if you can get your hands on one. I promise you, you'll like it. It's a knife person's kind of knife. The other knife that I carried, where is it? Where did I put it? Aha. One of the knives that I've been unable or unwilling or a mixture of both to keep out of my pockets has been, of course, the Devo Tallboy. At under $200, is it a knife of the year candidate? You betcha. Oh man. Kev and Colin really did a number on this design, and it is fantastic. And it has me jonesing for the Fireball, which is releasing this month. I want to say within a couple weeks. Guys, don't miss out on the Fireball. Because as much as I love this knife, I'm going to tell you right now, the Fireball, I have a feeling that the Fireball is going to be one of those that's in direct competition, which is kind of funny considering that Devo is essentially only competing with themselves in the $100 to $200 price point at this time. But it looks great. Absolutely bananas how cool the Fireball looks. And I can't wait. I've been jonesing for it. We're going to get one on the channel. We're going to review it before it releases. We'll give you our honest opinion, of course. But the Tallboy has been a knife that I've been unable to keep out of my pocket. Absolutely a knife of the year contender. And don't be disheartened if you missed out on the first release, because it is guaranteed there will be another one. I think January, February, they'll do another release of the Tallboy. The order is in. They put in the order almost immediately when they saw the mass amount of people that wanted one but couldn't get one. So first quarter 2025, keep your eyes out for another run of the Tallboys, and I highly recommend it. Am I ever going to sell my Tallboy? No. That knife is staying with me. But I will be having a knife sale this weekend. We'll kill the music for a second. Knife sale this weekend. I ran a poll in Saturday's live. For those who didn't make it, I do go live on Saturday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 10 p.m. Eastern. I asked the good people on my live stream, would you be interested if I did my next knife sale live? Not an auction, just a live knife sale, instead of in a regular recorded video. Overwhelmingly, over 90% of the people in that live stream said yes. We would love to see it live. So I'm going to be doing some. Yeah, it will be this weekend. I'm building a banner. I will announce it. But Saturday's live stream will be the Scary Good knife sale, because it's October and because the majority of the knives that I'm selling on there, which right now I think I've got somewhere in the realm of 21 to 22 knives, are going to be 50% off retail advertised price, plus $10 for shipping. So before $10 for shipping, it'll be 50% off the regularly advertised price from your normal retailer. So for example, if a knife normally goes for $200 brand new, I'll be selling mine for $100 plus $10 shipping, so $110 to you. And so it'll be nice. People will have an opportunity to pick up some cool pieces for a lot less than what they would normally have to spend to get them. And it will support the channel in a huge way, and it'll be a lot of fun to see if it has any legs doing a knife sale on a live stream. So if you're at all interested in that, definitely keep your eyes peeled for the next live stream going on Saturday at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. All right. And of course, back to the chat. Wicked Dream Design says, I got a lot of people saying my designs of Nefarious is a gas station knife. Got a lot of people saying right on for designing it out of the box. Let me tell you something. You will never, ever avoid the dissidents, okay? I'll give you an example of what I mean. If I make a video on a knife that is 7 inches long, for example, if I make a video on this Hinderer XM18 3-inch, I'll get lots of comments from people saying, cool knife, too small for me. But let's say if I was to then get the 3.5-inch, I get lots of people saying, oh, it's just too big for me to carry. I'd prefer the smaller one. You get something that is a classic design, right? Classic design. Something like, I don't know, Chris Reeve Sabenza. And you'll get people that will say, oh, it's too basic. There's nothing special. And then you get something that is a bit more out of the box, and people are saying, oh, it looks like a gas station knife. My point is, never try to please everybody, because that is where the death of creativity lies, is when you try to please too large of an audience. The best thing you can do is make your ideas come to life, and hopefully there are people who see that joy and appreciate that journey for what it is. And if not, that's totally fine, because not every knife is for every person, and that's completely fine. But if you put out a good product made of quality materials, beautiful design language, you will find your following, and you'll find a lot of people that appreciate that, and it will hop on that train because they find the same things attractive in it that you do. So something that I have learned that I just want to pass along to anybody out there, whether you create content, whether you're thinking of designing something, whether it be a knife or whatever, don't get hung up in trying to make something that everybody wants, because that is the death of creativity. And with that, we're going to turn the music back on. And for the record, in case people didn't know, I think the Nefarious looks badass. It's a really cool name, too. Casey Baker says, it's similar to gun owners shooting $2,000 staccatos who frown on people who own high points. People need to start somewhere. Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, no gatekeeping here. Okay? Absolutely no gatekeeping here. I show both budget knives and expensive enthusiast grade knives because I enjoy both of them. And I don't even necessarily look at budget knives as a starting point, even though most of the time it is. I look at budget knives as a different use case scenario. I'm a little bit rougher with my budget knives. I do stupider things with my budget knives. You think I'm sweating using a $25 budget knife as a flathead screwdriver when I know I shouldn't? Not sweating it at all. It's in my pocket. It's what's useful. But that's my point. Like, I'm not afraid to carry a more expensive knife. I'm more likely to be more picky about using it specifically for knife specific tasks. Like, I'm not going to be using my Hinderer XM18 as a flathead screwdriver. I won't. But, you know, if I'm out there in the wilderness and I don't know, I've got, what's a good budget knife in here? Let's say that I've this Vostede Acorns in my pocket. Great knife, by the way. If I need to use it inappropriately, I'll do it. I'm not going to sweat bullets over it. I can replace it. It's tough steel, 14C. You know, I'm not sweating that. Great knife, too, by the way. Another great budget knife, the Vostede Acorn. I think the mini Acorn is a little too small, but that's just my thoughts. Rebel Rouser says, where do you carry 2 or 3 knives on your person at one time? I can answer this question, actually, because I've carried up to 3 knives on my person at one time, and I'll give you a good example of that. Devo nip in the 5th pocket. the pocket that some people call the coin pocket. Why? Because it's out of my regular pocket, okay? It takes up a space not generally used for anything else. I don't carry coins in there. I don't carry a pocket watch. I'll carry a fifth pocket carry like this. And it's generally a space that is taken up by a knife that I'm using just to open up packages. I'm not going to worry about the tape, whatever. It's my whatever knife. And then I like to carry something a little bit more heavy duty in my main pocket. So for example, the Devo Tallboy. Love this knife. If I feel like I would need more purchase, there it is, main pocket carry. So that's 2 knives, same pocket side. And then, for example, if I wanted to, if I was someone who felt the need to carry a knife for self-defense purposes, which I do not, but I do totally understand that some people do, I could do a crossbody draw on a karambit in my left pocket. There you go, 3 knives. 3 knives, 1 carry, 3 different use case scenarios. Could you carry 1 knife to do all of that? Absolutely. Or you could carry 3. The more varied you have, the more varied needs you have, the more specific you can get with those. You know, if you only have 1 knife that does all the things, chances are it'll do all of those things okay. But if you have a knife specifically for each one of those things, chances are it does that specific thing better than the jack of all trades that you'd carry to combat, you know, all of that regardless. So I see why some people carry multiple knives. I also understand that some people do it just because they like to. And you know what? That reason is good enough for me. Lone Star says, Jazzy the cat is hanging out with me, reminding me not to forget their breakfast. Shout out to Jazzy the cat. Todd says, oops, that's a private conversation. Rebel Rouser says, I will be getting a fireball. Yeah, me too. The hard choice that I have is, do I want the black pearl? You know what? I'll show you guys why it's a hard choice. Hold on. We're going back to the screen share. All right, so devoknives.com. And by the way, if you do get in on this, use the code RSB10 for 10% off. And you can get this for basically $180 instead of $200. Yeah, the fireball. So I'm stuck, okay? And I'm stuck because these all look good. I would be happy with any of these 3. I might do the black pearl, particularly because I absolutely love the way those pivot collars look next to that satin blade. It looks really good. I love the satin pivot collars next to the satin blade with the black pearl camo carbon fiber. It's a really nice contrast. It's not showy. But at the same time, this also looks really good with the 80s camo carbon. It really does. That also looks good. But you know what else also looks good? The electric blue. They all look good. They really do. Right now, currently, I'm leaning towards this one. I think this one looks the slickest. I think it's the best looking so far. It's the cleanest aesthetic. Again, wouldn't be disappointed in any of those. They all look good. But I think the one I'm going to go for is the black pearl. You know what? This would be fun. Let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and put a poll up in the chat. Hold on. Hold on. And the question is, which Devo Fireball do you think looks the best? And that's going to be the Black Pearl, the 80s Camo Carbon, or the Electric, I think that last one's called Electric Blue. And you know what? For giggles, we'll throw in a fourth option. I like rocks. let me know, guys. Which one do you think is the best looking one? I'll give you my vote right now. I think that the cleanest aesthetic out of all three of those is going to be the Black Pearl. I know a decent amount of you are probably going to choose I like rocks, because we've been down this path before. I know. I put up a funny fourth option, and all the people that don't care just pick that. Wow. Wow, this is surprising. A shocking amount of people are picking electric blue. I thought 80s camo was going to be the winner for sure. Oh, 80s camo is making a comeback. Look at that. It's at 32%. Oh, man. This is crazy. They're all good, guys. I like rocks is actually losing this one. This is entertainment at its finest. Nope, electric blue pulling away again. I'm gonna let that poll do its thing, and we'll check back on that in a little bit. Lone Star Cowboy says, let us not forget these carries: boot, neck, pouch, clip to outer side of belt, and belt carries. Absolutely. I didn't even mention the belt carries. If I carry a fixed blade, which I don't do very often, but I do occasionally, I'll do an appendix carry. I love the appendix carry for a small fixed blade. For example, the Axial Knives Alpine V2. Love that fixed blade. Excellent fixed blade for EDC. Put a couple pull the dot loops on it instead of the regular ulti clip, and instead of having this, big thing in your pocket, which kind of makes it awkward, at least for me to like stand up, sit down, and move around without this big old bulge in my pocket. I like to do an appendix carry, so I'll put some pull the dot loops on them. You guys have seen it before. You know what? I'll just show you. So instead of the ulti clip, which clips into your pocket, these are pull the dot loops. These are perfect for an appendix carry. And what I like about it is that I can wear my shirt loosely and it just naturally falls over it. It is a natural concealed carry. Of course, carry responsibly. If you're not allowed to conceal carry a fixed blade, know your local knife laws and act accordingly. But what I'm saying is that it's nice because it doesn't hinder my movement at all. It's right there. It's accessible. I'll move the belt buckle over towards my left hand side so that I have a nice flat surface and no belt buckle, and I'll put it right where my belt buckle would be. Easy access. It's secured through the Kydex sheath, and boom, here we go. Fixed blade. That's nice. My regular pockets are freed. No extra space needed. Right there on the belt. It's perfect. That's how I carry a fixed blade when I carry a fixed blade. Because it does not hinder me at all. It's not uncomfortable at all. Some people prefer a scout carry where it's on the small of their back. I'm not a big fan of scout carry because it's kind of an awkward pull no matter what side you pull from. For me, it's just awkward. Some people train that and they're good. Some people, if they're camping or hiking, they'll put this on like a backpack strap or a molly strap. But for me, appendix carry is where it's at. I don't like regular belt carries like this, primarily because I live in the city, and if I walk around like that, people freak out. Okay? I don't need to have those conversations. There's not enough time in my day to have those conversations. What's up, Donnie? He says, I like Hellcat Pro Comp for appendix carry there. There you go. That's now we're getting into pew-pews. I'm not the biggest fan of the Hellcat Pro Comp as far as EDC pew-pews go, because that's a little too compact for my taste. If I had to pick one, the one I would pick would be a Walther PDP compact. That's my preference. Hey, welcome into EDC and Lace. What's up, Lacey? Good to see you. Welcome in. All right, guys. So we've done it all, but we have not done the Discord dive. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Now, at the beginning of the live stream, Ed said, I wonder if Rolls will read my live stream featured question. Well, you betcha. Here we are. Ed says in his live stream featured question, Rollshambo, why don't we have a raisin emoji here and in the live stream? I knew it was raisin related. Tell you what, Ed. Tell you what. When we hit 10,000 subscribers, I will create the raisin emoji that will be available to channel members, not only on my regular content, but also in the live streams as well. And you know what? When we hit 10,000 subscribers, I might even make a special tier of channel membership. And we'll see. We'll see. The logo for that might be a raisin. 10K is right around the corner. We're about 640-ish away, which by my estimation lands that happening somewhere around Christmas. So, will we have a raisin emoji? Yes. It's only a matter of time. I'll do it for you, Ed. I won't eat them, but I will create one as an emoji for you. Thanks for asking a live stream featured question. Let's go ahead and check out the pocket checks. All right. And we're just pocket checking for today. If you want to check out people's pocket checks all week long, channel members have access to the members only Discord. Once you're in, even if your channel membership drops off. So please consider supporting the channel by becoming a channel member. Right now it is as cheap as YouTube will allow me to make it, which is something like $2 or $3. It's less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, but you can support the channel and you can join in on the members only Discord if you'd like. If not, it's not a big deal. It's not that serious, but we do have fun. So let's go ahead and check it out. Drink water coming in hot with a beautiful carry, making me super jealous. He's got the Warncliffe XM24. I really want one of those. Really, really want one of those. And I believe it's the skinny Warncliffe too. I know that those are available over at USA Made Blade right now, but they're not cheap. He's got the Warney Spyderco Lil Native and of course the Spyderco McBee. Nice carry. Dazed has what looks like, is that a bug out reblade? Oh yeah. That is a Gersh reblade. We actually checked them out on one of our live streams. Really cool. Gersh bug out reblade. Nice. Craig Vincent in with his normal handful of knives. And you know, I believe I actually recognize some of those. That is a Kaiser Grazioso. We've got a Spyderco Tenacious, a Titanium Kubi Titius. I'm not entirely sure. Is that a Cold Steel Recon? All right. So I missed out on a couple of those. And those fixed blades look great. Got some Bowie knives right there. Look at that. Very nice. I'd baton with those. Why not? Ohio Lefty Knife Guy is coming in with a Microtech Ultratech. That's bayonet blade. Frag pattern handle skills. Looks great, man. All right. And then we've got the Kubi Ruckus. Ed's hanging out with the Kubi Ruckus and some chicken wings. Man, those look good. I want some chicken wings now. Nick T's got the CKF Evo 3. That is an Evo 3, right? Oh, and you know, I know what those coins are from. That is one of the Serge Panchenko coins, right? Really like the way that looks. Kevin Smith says, waiting on my new slip from Joe at Lancelot Leather. Look at that. Look at that. The Devo nip slip. Or as some like to call it, the Janet Jackson. Jim Miller says he's got the Artisan Sea Snake, the Orion Knives Cetus, and of course the Kaiser Banish. And what looks like great weather. That does look great. I'm glad that your field isn't, you know, underwater, Jim. Very happy to see that. He says, easy one. That nice. I appreciate you taking it easy on me. I really do. Mark P is flexing with the Arcane Designs Plexus. Very cool knife. That is a Isham design in collaboration with Arcane. Rest in peace to Elijah Isham. Chris Waris, he's got a Spyderco Shaman, the Devo Tall Boy, the purple nurple. I approve. And then, of course, the Bastide Mini Nightshade. Looking good, man. Knife Fleet coming in hot with the Kaiser Militar. Both the 80s camo carbon version and the more budget-friendly version. That's cool. Chef Rocky. I'm not familiar with that specific Kubi model. I've seen it. I know that it's one hell of a gentleman's folder. I forget its name. Sorry, Rocky. Let's see. Barbarian Brawny, always flexing with the nice photos. Look at that. That has got to be the Chavez RCK9, right? And then a smattering of fixed blades, beer bombs, flashlights, and, of course, watches. What's up, Brawny? Brawny's photos, man. Always been a fan. BEDC, he's flexing with the new Addicted to Knives Halt, the ATK Halt. Guys, hold on. I believe it's atk.net, addicted to knives.net, I believe is what it is. ATK Halt. atknives.net. Okay. Did you guys know that this released? I did a video on it a while ago when it was in pre-order. Check it out. These are actually available now. I don't have an affiliate link. I don't have a discount code. Check out Addicted to Knives. He has discount codes out there. I'm pretty sure Lefty 10 works here as well for 10% off. This was one of the best actions that I felt ever. The action is extremely glassy. Very glassy. Very impressive. 2 different fat carbon variations. They're going for about $300. No surprise there. My favorite between the two, of course, is the Purple Haze Fat Carbon. But these are live. This is not a pre-order. You order it, they ship it. It's here. They finally have it in stock, and you can definitely check it out. Magna Cut between 61 and 63. Decent. Not a pre-order, guys. They have these in stock. They will be shipping out when you purchase them. So if you want one and you did not get in on the pre-order, here you go. Now you know. All right. Let's see. Reckless Precision. He's got the ProTech Mordax. And which one is that on the left? I'm not familiar with that one. We're zooming all the way in. It's another ProTech that I'm not familiar with. Looks good though. Oh, you know what? Speaking of crazy collaborations, did you guys see? Check it out. Last live stream. Shout out to Ian Coates. He was like, you need to check out the ProTech Chavez collaboration. Chavez is not just collaborating with ProTech. They're doing another auto with Boker. It's the Mini Redemption. $178 gets you Magna Cut and aluminum in a mini format. How many is it? Well, the overall length is just 5.6 inches. It's tiny. You know, I know they say that size doesn't matter, but it really does. That's too small. I want to know who's buying this one. I have to know who's buying the Boker Mini Redemption. Like, I get the ProTech version. That's a regular size knife. This one is not even 6 inches. Fully deployed. They should have called it the Pygmy Redemption. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing with that. Anyways, I saw that. I'm like, oh, cool. You know, they're doing one with Boker. And then I saw the length. I'm like, even I think that's a bit small. Come on now. But yeah, ProTech is doing a Chavez collaboration on a more full-size one. Found that out over the weekend. Welcome in, Cornered. Good to see you. Barbarian Bronny. I knew I'd find you in the chat. He says, let's get to 10K and send at least 1,000 my direction. Guys, what are you doing? Go follow Barbarian Bronny. Look, if you appreciate high quality production, Barbarian Bronny is potentially one of the most underrated channels in this sector that I've had the pleasure of watching. And that is just my honest opinion. Photos, amazing. People say that they like my voice on my videos and on my live streams all the time. Barbarian Bronny, voice dripping in honey. Could be a radio host, 100%. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to find out if that's what he did as a regular day job. It's one of those reasons why I've given this man an open invitation to do a live stream with me. Bronny, when are we going to do the live stream? Let me know. You know that the door is open. Go follow Barbarian Bronny. Do it. Chef Rocky, good to see you, man. He says bailout. Experience Precision says, I really just want a tall boy. There's going to be another one. First quarter 2025. You'll be able to get in on it. I have a feeling that one will sell out as well. There was a ton of people that missed out, and I did my best. I tried to promote it as much as I could to let people know when it was going to be releasing, where it was going to be releasing. I did my utmost to let people know, but there was only a finite amount, and they actually ordered a good amount the first time. They had tall boys at Traditional Pocket Knives on Devo's own website, at Blade Binge, at White Mountain Knives. That's 4 retail sites. They had a really decent amount of these guys, and they sold out at all locations across the board, every variant, in less than half an hour at all locations. And still a ton of people weren't able to get one. So just keep your eyes peeled. First quarter 2025. SC Rick, welcome in. He says, evening everyone, got to go see a Rollshambo. Great content. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. SC Rick, you have a good rest of your night, brother. We will catch you on the flip side. Kevin C's carrying the OG Elementum and the Tempest Jetstream. Very cool. Chef Rocky says bass is very high. On this one or on Bronny's? Bronny's got a great voice for recording. Lone Star says chicken wings, which go with hardness or toughness. I would say chicken wings definitely go with hardness. Fight me in the comment section. EDC and Lace says, I'll throw you a little something extra in the order, Rebel. Thank you for waiting to get in touch with me and not buying someone else's. This is what happens. I join in random conversations. If you guys didn't know, Lacey, aka EDC and Lace, has her own line of products. Make sure to check that out. I have a feeling that you might actually enjoy those products. I think there's a stropping compound. I believe. I think so. That sounds right. Emulsions. Yep. Emulsions. Absolutely. Hey, shout out to Precision Knives. He's welcome in, man. Good to see you. When are we going to get the American-made Warntack? When am I going to get one? Because you know I want one. I want an American-made Warntack. Absolutely. Barbarian Bronny says, Chavez has been so busy, I need a fourth job. There's no way I couldn't buy the Boker Mini Redemption. It's too small. No, I refuse. That one is too small for me. Experience Precision says, I hate your voice, Shambo. I can't change that. It's unfortunate. I can't change that. All right. I'm catching up with the chat. Hang on, guys. Precision Knife Works says USA made worn tacks are in the works. Most likely going to use LMAX as the blade steel on the production versions, then have some customs in S90V, Rex 121, S290, and Vanax. I like that. I like that a lot. There's not a single steel that you listed that I don't like. All of the above sound... Make sure to follow Precision Knife Works on Instagram. I'm going to be following that situation very closely because an American-made worn tack would be absolutely badass. Chef Rocky says, you're so behind, that wasn't a modified reblade bug out, it was a bailout. I am definitely... I fall behind on the chats. All right, you've twisted my arm, Rocky. I'm just going to skip to the bottom of the chat. Welcome into Webfinity Design. Good to see you, man. Lone Star says, M-Tech has a sprint run coming out featuring tactical surgical steel. Surgical steel. It's so tactical that they use it during surgery. Surgical stainless. Why do they call it surgical stainless? It's surgical steel is not good. It's not good. John Blackman says that dessert knife looks like a gas station knife. It honestly, I can't do it. I can't get behind Blade HQ's donut theme, especially not after what they did to Crispy Donut community. If you know, you know, but there's a very, very good reason why Crispy Donut community is not doing the pink and sprinkled theme anymore, even though that was their thing. Even though it was actually different than what Blade HQ does, there's a very good reason behind that. And if you want to know what that is, just look at the fact that Blade HQ is now the only company that is allowed to do that. And I wonder why that is. I will let you all draw your own conclusions. Ed B says, Roll is a size queen. I mean, look, it's not so much about size, it's about the ergonomics, okay? The ergos have to fit well, even when it comes down to something like the Devo Nip Light. Like, check this out. You see this? It's not a very big knife. Not big at all, but based on the design of the handle skills, because there's a nice big finger choil right there, I can still get an adequate grip. It's not uncomfortable for me to use. It's still a small knife, but it's useful to me, and I don't hate it because I don't need a lanyard fob or a paracord fob to get extra grip to be able to hold it. That's my requirement. And then there's some knives out there that are so small that there's absolutely no way you could get a full grip on it. That's when we start getting into the range of just too small. Jeremy Doucette says, most likely will dye the white G10 black and murder out the knife. Which knife? Oh, batch 2 Severn and 14C and G10 arrived today. It's absolutely amazing. Oh man, I love the Winterblade Severn. Brian Winters. Fantastic. Ian Coates says, my local bodega still has tall boys in stock. Those are steel reserves. They're not tall boys. All right. All right. I'm going back down to the most recent on the chat. Hold on. John Tagamori says, I want to own a gas station that sells premium knives. People were walking in there on their camping trip like, oh, honey, go ahead and pick up a pocket knife. It's like, okay. $300 later. Why is that Benchmade so expensive? Oh, man. Do it. Do it. Redefine what gas station knife really means. LC Brent, good to see you, man. He says, I used the last of my points on Blade HQ to buy an exclusive pyrite. Will not be using them anymore. Too many other retailers I can use. Look, I'll say this. Blade HQ has a great variety of knives. They've got good availability. I don't necessarily agree with what they did. How they handled themselves in the situation with the crispy donut community. You know, how do you do that? It's just not something that I can support. You know, I don't have any hate towards Blade HQ. I just don't like how they handled that situation. I think that there was multiple things they could have done to handle that, to collaborate, to make it more favorable. You know, if they really felt like they were being infringed upon, there was other things they could have done that they did not do. And yeah, and it's not just them. Chef Rocky says, and the old Blade Runner HQ, oops, it's Blade Runner Outpost now. There's a reason for that. I wonder what that reason could be. And it's because Blade HQ has been very busy lately, and that's all I'm going to say. John Tagamori says, I'll accept all reviewer discount codes. John, as a new channel member, check it out. As a new channel member, if you go to my channel post on YouTube, you should be able to find. So, for example, if you go to YouTube, type in Rollshambo EDC. You can go to my channel and go to the posts. And if you go to the posts and scroll down a little bit, you should find a members only Discord invite link. That'll take you here to the members only Discord. And I've got a good amount of discount codes, of my discount codes listed here. So that includes White Mountain Knives, Kubi, includes Wubin flashlights, includes Blade Runner Outpost, includes Olight, includes DNK knives. I need to add Devo knives to that. Devo knives, RSB 10, and I also need to add, oh yeah, North Mountain Blade, also RSB 10. Boom. So yeah, there you go. Discount codes. You're a channel member. They're listed here. I also try to list discount codes in my video descriptions as well. So yeah. All right, catching up with the chat. Hold tight. Hold tight. Hang tight. There we go. Chef Rocky says, Chavez TAK. I have a custom TAK. That's sweet, man. I would kill for a custom Chavez. Craig Vincent says, run down to the Shell station and get a Severn. What Shell station has Winter Blade Co? I need to know. Ohio Lefty Knife Guy says their lawyer has been busy. Their lawyer has made lots of money off them right now. And it's, yeah. I just don't support how litigious they've been. That's my stance. Todd Carr says White Mountain Knives in Midway, USA is where I do most of my shopping. Yeah. I'm not surprised. Both great retailers. Blade Runner Outpost, formerly known as Blade Runner HQ, another great retailer. I like NC Blade. I like River's Edge Cutlery. I like DLT Trading. I like USA made blade. Those are all good. Blade Ops. Sometimes Blade Ops is a little pricey, but on most things they're right there in the mix. Blade Ops is not bad either. Hey, Paul Mills, what's up, man? He says GP Knives is only an hour away and I've never been. Yeah, GP Knives, that's another good one. Knife Ship Free, Knife Joy, 2 more good ones. There's so many good retailers out there. Todd Carr says, really surprised that no one has a discount or affiliate link for Midway USA. I've never looked into it. I might have to. Hey, John says, hey, I appreciate that. And I use yours for my chop too. Hey, thanks, John. Oh, so chop 2. I saw one of your comments. I responded. I'm not sure if you saw my response or not. The action on the chop 2. Now, something that I forgot to mention in my video is that when I got this in the mail, the pivot came over tightened. I don't think to mention it. It's just something that I do on all my knives is if the action feels a little sluggish out of the box, I will check the tuning on the pivot. And so, John, highly recommend tune your pivot. Loosen it just enough to where you start to feel a little bit of blade play, and then slowly, lightly tighten it back up until that blade play is gone. And that action will be much, much better than it is right out of the box. So in case you didn't see my comment response, thought I'd mention that. Definitely check the tightness on that pivot, and it will definitely improve the action on the chop too. Paul Mills says, Lacey, I've been wanting to go there for a while, but something always seems to come up and I just never made it down there. To GP Knives? White Mountain Knives? I don't know. LC Brent, he's got a list of retailers. White Mountain Knives, okay. Atlantic Knives, don't really shop there. I've actually heard I've seen some negative things about Atlantic Knives. I'm just going to leave it at that. Chicago Blade Works, never shopped there, but I've heard good things. Knife Center, yeah, it's a pretty big one. Blade Ops, direct from the manufacturer. And when I'm desperate, Amazon. Amazon's like the Voldemort of knife retailers. He who must not be named, Jeff Bezos. All right, I'm going to go ahead and check in on the poll, and we're going to kill the music. Checking in on the poll, which Devo Fireball do you think looks the best? Black Pearl, 80s Camo Carbon, Electric Blue, or I like rocks? Currently, 55 votes in, which is pretty much, the majority of the live stream. 35% of people said Electric Blue. 20% said Black Pearl, which is the one that I actually think looks the best is the Black Pearl. They all look amazing. But it tied I Like Rocks for last place. When I get mine, should I just go for Electric Blue? I'll show you guys why. Honestly, the Devo knives, hold on. We're going back. We're going back to the Fireball conversation. That Electric Blue looks really good. Again, they all look really good. I like the aesthetic of the satin finish blade. Like that is and plus I don't know, is that like a black wash? Is that going to be, there's no way that that's going to be DLC. I'll have to ask Kev about that. If it's not DLC or like a battle worn, stone wash, black wash finish, I'm not as big of a fan of that because I don't trust how long the finish will last. I really hope that is a DLC. I really hope so. If that's a DLC, then it's got my vote all day. Otherwise, I just think that this one looks the best. Interesting. We're going to end the poll. The winner is Electric Blue. Splitting Slices says, hello, Rollshambo, and all here on this Wednesday. How's it going, man? Glad that you could make it. Rambo Adventure says, Thailand in the house, late to the party. Better late than never. John Tagamori says, imagine that electric blue with a shiny DLC. Is it DLC, though? I'll ask Lefty if that's a true DLC, or if that's actually DLC, or if it's like a PVD. And when I say PVD, I mean like titanium nitride. All right, guys. I am going to be calling it a night. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section or in the chat as well. What do you think of these live streams going a bit later? Because these were strictly at an hour long, and now they've been going for like an hour 20, hour and a half. Are these more enjoyable for you guys? Or do they feel stretched out? Does it feel more forced when I go longer? I'm curious. Let me know. Leave a comment on the live stream if you're so inclined, and let me know. We will, of course, be going live. I am aiming for the Scary Good October knife sale to be a live knife sale this Saturday. I've got at least 20 knives picked out for the sale. We're going to be looking at 90%, maybe even 95% of these being 50% of manufacturer advertised price plus shipping. It's going to be good. It'll be a fun time. We'll sell some knives. Maybe people buy them. Maybe people don't. Maybe we just hang out and forget the knife sale at all. But I am aiming for that to happen on the Saturday live stream, which is happening Saturday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, which is 9 p.m. Central, which is 7 p.m. Pacific. There we go. I hope you can make it. If not, I totally understand. For some of you guys, I'll see you soon. And for everybody else, we'll see you later.